Hello everyone, you are watching Naresh IAS Academy YouTube channel, and now I am working on a question and answer writing session for IAS mains exam on GS paper 1. This is the fifth question and answer analysis session. I have already discussed the 4 videos and where I have discussed all the techniques, dimensions and approaches of answer writing, and this question was asked by UPSC in IAS mains exam GS paper 1 from world history, and the question is a series challenge to the democratic state system arose between the two world wars. Evaluate this statement. Okay, or you have to write answer of that question in 250 words and maximum marks are 15. How to answer writing and what point must be learned, I have already discussed in the previous videos, then you must watch and listen these videos. And one more thing, I have discussed the GS paper 1 and GS paper 2 entirely according to the UPSC syllabus on the YouTube channel. So you must visit and listen these videos. Definitely you will find I have learned too much and you can enlarge, you can refine your way of study and way of thinking. And you may also contact for the offline classes we are providing, and simply in the offline classes we focus on the answer writing. You know, the path of clearing the IAS exam is only how to clear the mains exam, and mains exam mainly depend upon the answer writing. So many students are sending their answer in Hindi and English medium both, and we are discussing these answer in the both mediums for according to the students, and this is the English medium session, and the student have sent this answer and this answer is displaying for you. So now I will read it and you have also see the answer and you have to self evaluate what is the nature and what is the weightage of that answer. Okay, so first of all, the student have started the first world war took place from 1914 to 1918, while the second world war took place from 1939 to 1945, and the period from 1919 to 1939 was a transitional phase between the two world wars. Both the world wars took place mainly in the continent of Europe, and the result of these wars was the extremely devastating. The most negative impact of these world war was on political and economic life. Initially in this para he has explained just like a introduction. Okay, what do you mean by the era between the two world wars, and now the student have changed the paragraph and now he is continuing in the second paragraph. In the political field, the newly formed democratic system infused the positive feelings among the people of Europe. On the other hand, many types of challenges also arose in front of the system as point 1, rise of dictatorial powers like Nazism in Germany and fascism in Italy. Second, emphasis on militarization instead of welfare scheme. Third, the Great Depression of the 1930s, which brought the entire production and trade system to a standstill. And the next para is the communist regime established in Russia strongly criticized this system, lack of faith in the people of Europe toward this system. Next point is imperialist and colonialist sentiments also presented serious challenges. And then he again changed the para and he is writing, after the First World War, the work that was started in the Paris conferences held in 1919 towards solving the problems of Europe, it did not succeed because of the personal interest of Britain and France, and resulted in the rise of Hitler in Germany. And finally he has concluded, which created the condition for World War II. After the Second World War, democratic system got a positive environment to develop and progress, where the problems of the public were discussed and the governments made rules and regulation in that direction. Okay, so this is the answer of the student. So now you have listened and watch. I have also read this. I have already read so many times, and finally I can say this is a average answer. So the student cannot hope for the good marks. So then what is the basic drawbacks of the answer? Now we will discuss. Okay. As I am again suggesting you, if you want to clear the IAS exam, then definitely you have to ensure more than 50% marking in each question or its answer. If you are not getting about 50% marks, definitely it is too difficult to clear the exam. This is the clear cut advice. Nothing is just like a compromising. Okay. Then the answer lack of direction according to the question. Here the term have used the serious challenges. And what do you mean by the term between the two world wars? Simply he has tried to explain that we may agree with the intro, but finally there is no direction according to the question. So according to the UPSC examiner, the candidate may get only 5 marks out of the 15, okay, 33% marks. So it is least possibility to be clear the exam, or you can show the 0 possibility. Now then how can we obtain the maximum marks? First, after the intro, so then you can say in the intro there is a basic drawbacks, the term democratic state system. So you have to mention between the two world war or just after the first world war, when the Paris peace conferences started in 1919 and so many pre-existing monarchies were ended or replaced, like the Habsburg dynasty, Hohenzollern dynasty, and Tsarship in the Russia, and the so many other. Or then these were replaced by the newly emerged democratic systems or the representative of the European peoples. Okay, so this term must be applied in your intro. In the second para, you must start your answer with this line: the newly emerging democratic state system in Europe just after the First World War faced the two kinds of challenges. One, the internal challenges, or secondly the external challenges. And now you have to explain what kind of internal challenges were existing before the states. So then point 1 is state democratic system. Firstly, consider the problems of their peoples and their country, because due to the World War I, the overall economy and production line was collapsed and the life of peoples was too much difficult and peoples were suffering in all the sphere of their life. So the states priorities to restore their economy, to provide basic amenities to their peoples, and so many expectations that time the European peoples from their newly emerged state systems, and the democratic system were facing the problems from the financial sector or from the technological side. Okay, so it was very difficult for the newly emerging state system to fulfill all the expectations and demands of their peoples. So this was the main series of challenges, and now you should change the paragraph or you have to explain what kind of external challenges. So many external changes emerge parallel with the internal challenges. First, in some countries there was sudden emergence of the dictatorial powers or the absolute power, like fascism in Italy, Nazism in Italy, and in so many countries, Japan and in Russia. This was the communist revolution, while the Europe was mainly the capitalist country. And now the Russia presented a great challenge before the country of the Eastern Europe, and now Russia started to influence the Eastern European countries this was difficult to these countries how to sustain their independence from the communist country, just like Russia. Second, Nazism and fascism ideology of Germany and Italy now make additional pressure over the democratic states, because democratic states were trying to provide the basic facility to their people, but now they have to turn their ideology or mindset to emphasize over the militarization or for the large army, and this was a great shift from the welfare scheme to the army establishment. And the third, recently a international organization just like a League of Nations, Rashtrasangh, was established in 1919, but the League of Nations was not too much a strong body. All the founding members, whether it was America, Britain, France and the other non-founding members, they were simply listening the instruction but not following. They were violating the instruction guidelines of League of Nations. So this was another important challenge. If there shall be any clash or contradiction between the countries, so then due to the weak international organization, it could not be possible to tackle or solve the all problems peacefully. So these were the important challenges before the newly emerged democratic state system. Or finally, this was a additional challenge, how to restart, restore their trade and commerce relationship throughout the world. Before the World War I, all the European countries were involving in export and import, but due to the World War it was completely disturbed. Okay, so then you should write the answer in this way, then you can obtain more than 10 marks or up to that 11 or 12 marks, or these marks will definitely ensure your final selection and you may be a toppers in the IAS exam. This is the way. Okay, thank you.